Previously, on how much trouble can one social worker cause the Nazis? Irena Sendler and the Żegota network helped move Jewish children out of the Warsaw Ghetto, gave them false identities, and hid their real names in secret records. Then, the Gestapo arrested Irena. They wanted names, addresses, and the entire rescue network. Irena's answer, though probably not in these exact words, was no. Now she faced torture, prison, and a death sentence. Welcome back to the channel, where real history is more unbelievable than fiction, and usually has far more paperwork. This is part 2 of Irena Sendler's story. If you missed part 1, save this video and watch both episodes in order. Follow for more remarkable lives from history, and stay to the end because Irena survived being officially declared dead, then spent decades insisting she was not a hero. Honestly, that may be history's strongest humblebrag. Pawiak prison was notorious for interrogation, torture, and execution. The Gestapo tortured Irena and severely injured her legs and feet. They demanded information about Żegota and the hidden children. She gave them nothing. We sometimes call people like Irena fearless, but that word can be misleading. Courage does not mean feeling no fear. It means fear is present, loudly listing every possible disaster, and you still refuse to betray the people depending on you. Irena protected the children, the families hiding them, and everyone in the network. The Gestapo sentenced Irena to death. Her name was placed on an official list of executed prisoners. Under normal circumstances, that would have ended her story. But Żegota was not a group that accepted normal circumstances without checking for loopholes. Members of the underground raised money and bribed a German guard. It was an enormously risky plan. If the guard changed his mind, betrayed them, or took the money and did nothing, Irena would die, and the rescuers could be exposed. According to Irena's account, as she was being taken toward execution, a guard separated her from the group and told her to run. She escaped. Official records said Irena Sendler had been executed. In reality, she was alive, injured, and about to begin living under a false identity. There are not many situations where seeing your own name on a death list counts as useful paperwork. But being officially dead made it harder for the authorities to search for her openly, provided nobody looked too closely at the very much alive woman continuing resistance work. Most people, after torture, prison, and a last-minute escape from execution, would reasonably request a very long holiday. Irena continued working. Using a false name, she stayed involved in helping Jewish children and families. She could not move freely, and her injuries caused pain for the rest of her life. But she remained connected to the underground. This is not because she believed herself indestructible. It was because the danger to others had not ended. Her courage was not one dramatic moment. It was a series of decisions made again and again. When the war ended, Irena and her colleagues recovered the hidden records. The famous jars represented more than a list. Each entry connected a child's false identity to a real name, a family, and a stolen past. Irena hoped the records would reunite children with parents and relatives. She had protected the names through checkpoints, raids, and her own arrest. Now came what should have been the joyful part, bringing families back together. But the Holocaust had destroyed most of those families. Most parents of the rescued children had been murdered. Some children found surviving relatives. Many did not. Some remained with the Polish families or institutions that had hidden them. Others eventually built new lives in different countries. They had survived. But survival did not erase grief, fear, or confusion. A rescue story can sound simple when reduced to one sentence. The child was in danger, a brave person saved them, the end. Real life continued after the end. The children had to understand what had happened, recover their identities, and grow up carrying memories no child should have needed. Irena later said she felt she should have saved more people. Her colleagues reminded her that the network had helped rescue approximately 2,500 children. Irena still believed it was not enough. Apparently, saving thousands did not meet her personal performance targets. The joke is gentle, but the feeling behind it was real. Like many rescuers and survivors, Irena carried guilt alongside gratitude. She did not see the children as a number or an achievement. She remembered the people she could not reach. In 1965, Yad Vashem recognized Irena Sendler as righteous among the nations. For years, however, her story remained unfamiliar to much of the wider world. Then, in the late 1990s, students in Kansas discovered Irena's story and created a play called Life in a Jar. Their project helped bring international attention to her work and to the people who had worked beside her. Irena received awards and worldwide recognition, but she repeatedly rejected the label of hero. She said she had simply done what needed to be done, which is a wonderfully inconvenient standard for the rest of us. It is tempting to tell this as the story of one woman saving 2,500 children alone. But Irena always emphasized the network. Jewish parents made unbearable sacrifices. Children learned new identities. Couriers crossed checkpoints. Families opened their homes. Doctors, social workers, drivers, priests, nuns, and resistance members all took enormous risks. Irena became the best-known face of the operation, but every link in the chain mattered. She was extraordinary, and her story also proves something bigger. Organized compassion can become a form of resistance. Irena Sendler died in 2008 at the age of 98. She lived long enough to see rescued children grow into adults, build families, and tell their own stories. She had no army and no political power. She had trusted friends, forged documents, a worn leather bag, and a stubborn moral compass. Her life reminds us that heroes do not always wear capes. Sometimes they carry health passes. Sometimes they hide names in jars. And sometimes they look at an impossible situation and say, "We have to start somewhere." Irena Sendler and her network helped save approximately 2,500 Jewish children. Remember the victims, honor the rescuers, and keep telling the stories that hatred tried to erase. If Irena's story deserves to be remembered, like this video, share it with someone who loves true history, and follow the channel for more extraordinary people the textbooks gave only one paragraph. History should never depend on whether the algorithm is feeling generous today.